Hi, Shatoria.
Hi, Melinda.
How are you? This is Melinda Roy. I'm the host for the 2 days Global Summit. So, yes, are you enjoying our presentations by a wonderful woman today?
I am very much so.
Yes, so thank you so much for joining this session, Shatoria. Before we start your presentation, I will give you a brief introduction of yours. So yes, so now Shatoria is on the stage. So Shatoria El Christian is a woman of faith. With writing, she uses her voice for issues that have played significant roles in her life. She has published for her first book, Authentic Transparency, Forgiveness to Freedom, and she is a co-author to a best-selling anthology, Women with Unshakable Faith, that was released in April 2023. In addition to writing, she currently serves as a voice and creator of the I Am Satoria brand and podcast. She has been nominated for the 2023 Inspired You podcast and Speaker of the Year. Shatoria is a wife to Jerome and mom to two, Jamorian and Jai. She currently serves over 20 years with her son in the United States Air Force. She graduated from Columbia Southern University in 2019 with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and in her Master of Business at American Military University in May 2023. So this was the introduction of Shatoria. Now she will give a wonderful presentation. Thank you, Shatoria. So you can occupy the stage now.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. So, today, my goal is to help you, as the title says, it says, being authentic and transparent leader without losing focus. A lot of times we lose focus. A lot of times we forget who we are. And as women, we have so many hats. We have so many things that we have to do in order to stay focused. But then when we take home life, work life, and we put them all together, it's just a issue. We just got too much going on. So my goal today is just to help you learn how to remember who you are. So the agenda for today, we're going to talk about who are you. We're going to talk about losing your focus, rethinking your focus, reorganizing your focus, readjusting your focus, and then at the end, we're going to talk about now who are you. So my hope and my goal and prayer is that you all remember who you are at the end of this and feel absolutely wonderful when it's all said and done. So one of the things I want to talk about is who I am, and that also goes for you. Who are you? I am a woman who I carry many hats, just like she said. I am a mom, a wife, a military member. I am in the middle of retiring from the military, so now I'm becoming a school teacher. I'm an author. I'm a podcast host. I have all these hats, and I get pulled left to right, left and right, left and right, which is great. However, in those things, you tend to forget who you are. So I had to complete a couple of things in order to figure out who I am. How do I need to readjust some things, rethink some things, reevaluate some things, and also know what was important for me? And that is what we're going to talk about today. All right, so we're going to start off with who are you? I don't want you to think about who you are right now to other people. I want you to talk about who are you to you. That's one of the biggest things I had to learn being in the workforce, being all these hats. Who am I to me? Because once you lose that mindset of who you are to you, then you start operating in the ways of other people. And we really lose ourselves and we really lose our focus in that time frame. It's so much going on in the world to where it's easy to forget who you are to you. When the last time you took a vacation? Like, think about that. So when you think about who are you to you, now if you had asked me this some years ago, I would have been like, oh, who I am to me. You know, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm this, I'm this. But who I am to me, I am Shatoria. That is who I am. That's who I was born to be, is Shatoria. I am that before I'm all these other wonderful things. So I had to learn to adjust myself and remember who I am. And then the second question is, who are you to others? We give ourselves to others, and sometimes others don't need to have all of us. You know, we got the kids, the husband, and sometimes we don't know how to separate those things. And then we go to work and we're the boss, or, you know, we got these people up under us, we got these people over us. We're all these things, and we forget, man, I'm human as well. So that's what we're going to talk about today. All right, losing your focus. This is the easiest thing for us to do, is lose our focus. We literally operate off of, what do I need to do right now? We lose our energy, we lose our thought process, because we got to figure out what is right now. So as the slide says, one of the things I heard another speaker say earlier is, she said, there's no such thing as a workplace balance. And I absolutely, home like that. Look here, I agree. I believe there's a harmony, because at the end of the day, you got to learn how to flow within both of them. So as you see in the picture, it says peace, it says balance, it says harmony, because we have to have that. We got to have that time where we understand, man, I just need to take a time out. Losing your focus. I want you to think about how your work day goes every day. How many times are you in meetings? How often are you missing a bit that has to do with your kids, your husband, or just yourself? How often are you rescheduling something? When is the last time you had a space to breathe and it worked? Like, it actually worked. You just say, you know what? I'm out. I'm out. Talk to you later. I'm out. And you just actually did what you need to do for you. You didn't miss a kid's event. You didn't miss something that your husband wanted to do. You actually got date nights. I want you to think about the last time you thought about yourself. And I want you to say, what did it look like? So if you don't mind, as I go through, start putting that in the chat for me. Tell me, what did that look like? I can tell you now what it looked like for me. It wasn't that pleasant. That's all I'm going to say. I was like, oh man, I'm really all over the place. I'm doing a whole lot. So what does that look like for you? Now, we're going to talk about the 3 R's. And the first one is rethink your focus. It is very important that we always remind ourselves who we are, where we are, and what we need to do for ourselves. As we say, rethink your focus. Yes, we must work. However, work doesn't or shouldn't run us. It should not run our lives. It should not run what we need to do and how we need to do it at all. That is not how that's supposed to operate. All right. So when you look at this list of things that you see on the screen here, let's rethink our focus. Avoid the comparison trap. Let me tell you, I was really big in that one. I was really big in the, okay, well, they doing that and they doing that. I should be able to do that. And I added more to my plate. I would see somebody that looked like they had it all together and they didn't. And so one of the things I just talked about for my Motivation Monday and my Soulful Sunday is perception. Perception is everything. Perception shows us what we want to see. When you think about social media, people on social media all the time, but the perception is a lot of them got it all together. The reality is not so much. All right. The next thing is examining your values. Look, I had to come back and examine my values. My value was my kids, my husband, and just doing what my heart truly desired. Here's the reason why I made a decision to retire from the military after 21 years. It's time to go, because I had to literally examine what was important to me and what was taking over my life. Challenge yourself for something new. Let me tell you, I'm all about doing something new. I tell my kids all the time, we're gonna try something new. And they look at me like I'm crazy. I have a 22-year-old and a 9-year-old. And they're just like, you're always doing something. I gotta do something new. I want to explore what's out there, because guess what? I don't want to be that person go, oh man, I didn't try that, or I didn't do that. Because we put ourselves in such a bind of belonging to someone that we tend to forget that there is life out there outside of work. One of my biggest things I love, self-care plan. I love self-care. I'm talking about self-care. Look, I'm going to get my nails done, my feet done, my hair done. I'm taking that time just for me to love on me, to relax, to breathe. And I love that because I get the opportunity to just be myself. All right. And practice self-compassion. Let me tell you, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. Give yourself love. Guess what? We're not going to always get it right. And trust me, when I say we ain't going to always get it right, we ain't going to always get it right at all. We're not going to always get it right. And it's okay. It's okay not to always get it right. Write your heart out in a journal. Let me tell you, I have done this for years. I am big on journals. I keep journals. I have a lot of journals. It's a diary. You write out what you're feeling in that moment, because sometimes we react out of emotions, not realizing that at the end of the day, when we react out of emotions, instead of just sitting down and writing it down and taking a couple of breaths, we make decisions off of emotions, and that does not always lead the same way. So when you write down your likes, your dislikes, your strengths, your weaknesses, and your hobbies. When I hear people say, what is your hobbies? Oh, I just stay home and I chill. Oh, what is your hobby? What do you like to do? So when people ask me that, I like to teach. I like to event plan. I like to go to the movies. I like to eat. Those are my hobbies. That's what I like to do. I go eat by myself. I go to the movies by myself. I will really take care of me at all costs. I'm telling you, it's the greatest feeling. All right, reorganizing your focus, calendar style. I learned this from one of my mentors, Jonelle Boyd, and I didn't realize how busy I really was. So I took a calendar in my phone and I looked at it. And so she had us go through these steps that I'm going to go through with you on this calendar. And let me tell you, it was the best thing until this day. I still do this calendar, the workout of the calendar. So the first thing is look at your day. How busy are you? And a lot of us will say, oh, I'm busy, but I'm not that busy. And I was like, oh, I don't have time to do a calendar. And then I realized, oh, but I did, because I had so much on my plate that I wasn't getting things done. So what I did was, as it says here, use your calendar to control your movement. What I did was I would take the calendar and my daily day, I say, okay, today is Monday. I need to put out my motivation Monday. I'm going to do that from 7 to 7:30 in the morning. And I put that in the calendar, 7:30 in the morning. Take my kid to the youth center for summer break. That is from 8 to 9. That gives me time to get home and all that other stuff. I put that in there just in case I hit traffic. When I say every part of my day is in my calendar, to where if it's not in my calendar, I'm not doing it. It's not going to get done. So I made sure I'm very intentional with what I put in my calendar and how I place it out. Literally, time by line by line by line, I place that information in there going, hey, let me put this in here because guess what? I don't want to miss that. Oh, I have a meeting from 10 to 10:30. Let me do that. Now, let's say you have a meeting from 10 to 10:30, but it's only like 15 minutes. You got 15 minutes to breathe, just to breathe. I even put time in there for me. I'm going to go get my nails done today. I'm going to get my nails done. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I put it in there. I block off time. I'm going to block out time with my husband. Babe, we're going to do this on Saturday. All right, babe, cool. From here to here. I'm not doing anything else in between that. It helps me control how much I'm actually doing, how much I'm actually scheduling. And again, even with work, I did it with work. I know what my work days look like. So I literally put my work information in there. So being military, we have evals, decorations, those things. I'm HR. So I will put it in there. Hey, I'm going to deal with military leave from 7:30. After that, I'm not touching it no more for the day. And people thought I was crazy at first, but then they realized, oh, she ain't joking. She's on a schedule. Absolutely. Because I realized when I don't have a schedule, I am running all over the place. I got meetings. I forgot to do that. Now I'm staying at work late. Now I'm not making it home to make sure dinner is done. I'm not doing none of that. So this calendar was my best friend. And even though I'm leaving the military, I still do it. And now that I'm becoming a teacher, I still do it. I literally put in there when I do my podcast shows, when I'm recording, all of that's in there. Today's event is in there. All that's in there, which means I have nothing scheduled for anything else. This is what I'm doing. And it says, carve out time for your family. Mark your calendar with time of getting things done. Estimate your time about when you want to get something done, how you want to get something done, and stay on it. I'm telling you, I've been doing it now since 2019. I've been doing it since 2019 and we're 2023. So I've been doing it this long. When she hooked me onto that, I was like, oh, snap. I like that because you got to take care of you. Okay. You got to take care of you is very important. All right. Readjusting your focus. Let me tell you, perspective again, it is literally what you see, the perception of life. It is time for you to pivot. If I am a Friends fanatic, I love the show Friends. So pivot is my favorite word. However, 2020 really showed me what pivoting was going to look like. 2020, we started off great in 2020. We was great in 2020. And then a lot of us had to pivot, and I had to pivot a lot. So it is time to pivot your thinking and know when to change. It takes 21 days of doing something to make it a habit. working on yourself would not be an overnight thing. Telling someone no for the first time would not be easy. However, if the pandemic taught us anything, it is to be ready to pivot and sometimes stop. Let me tell you something. How many of you actually don't know how to say no? That was me. Now I know how to say no with a quickness. They be like, "Hey, can you?" No, I can't. I'm not going to. Nope, ain't happening. And they laugh at me. They're like, "Oh, you're serious? Absolutely serious to the core serious." Because at the end of the day, the way my life is set up is I have kids. I'm about to be a grandmother. I have all these things. So I have to put out what's important. So you got to readjust your focus. And when you readjust that focus, you've already done the calendar. All right. You already, redid that. Now you're readjusting, you making some room, you making some waves. So you are really adjusting yourself to say, okay, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to readjust a person thought process of me always doing. When you put your foot down and you say, I'm done, they're going to catch it, but you got to keep doing it. You have to. Again, I've been doing this calendar thing for the last 4 years. So it wasn't overnight. I won't lie. It wasn't just me. I was like, ooh, I want to kick it with friends. Tori put it on the calendar. So I put it on the calendar. So now I put everything on the calendar. When I say my calendar is full, my calendar is full. But if it ain't on my calendar, I'm not going to do it. So if you come to me with a last minute something, and especially if it has nothing to do with my family, I'm not cutting my family time. I'm going to make sure work is good. I'm going to make sure business is good. Then we're not doing it. I got friends like, hey, I'm getting married, girl. Send me information. Let me put it on my calendar. I'm putting it on my calendar because I'm also taking that and going, okay, this would be a date time for me and husband to do this, and this. These are the things that I do to help me stay sane. And I'm telling you, the way the world is set up, I got to stay sane. All right. Now we're at the stage where you're reintroducing yourself. Now, who are you? You are powerful. You are majestic. You out there. One of the things that I love to do, me and my daughter, we have a lot of free time with each other. We spend a lot of time with each other, and I love it. So I like to do little things with her. We just went and saw Hamilton. I bought those tickets over a year ago, and we got to see it this past June. And that was on my calendar. And what I did was I blocked it the whole day. Even though the show wasn't until like later on that night, I took the whole day and I put stuff on the calendar. Like, we're going to go get our nails done. We're going to go eat lunch. We're going to go do a little shopping for our outfits. And then we're going to, we're going to go eat. And I made that day spectacular. So that day, what we did was we went and got our nails done. I took her to go get some pizza. We went a little shopping and then we came home. And so I told her, you know what? We're not even going to drive down there. We're going to take an Uber. And she was like, oh, we're going to do an Uber. And I took her Uber down to the Riverwalk and we went to the Hard Rock Cafe. That was her first time going. And I took her to the Hard Rock Cafe and we just spent time at the Riverwalk. We just enjoyed ourselves. That's all we did. We just enjoyed ourselves. And then we went to the show and, we took that time to say, this is the moment to just breathe. And so when I look back at those pictures, and I think about my daughter is 9, and I look back at those pictures, and she literally just said a couple of days ago, she was like, Mom, remember when we went to go see Hamilton? Oh man, that was so much fun. Like, we did this, we did this. That is what you're trying to do. You're trying to recreate memories. And so you can't bound yourself in work. You can't bound yourself in these things. And then you wondering why you're drained, why you're tired, why you don't have any energy. Because even put the gym on your calendar. I did it. I still do. I put walking on my calendar. Like, I do those things. You have it on your calendar. Now, are you gonna make walking every day? You probably won't. But if you do it for 21 days, you make it a habit. It becomes a thing. So make sure you are rethinking, readjusting, refocusing, all of those things. Now, who are you? Not to others, but to you. Ask yourself, who are you to you? How do you see yourself now? And again, this won't be overnight. So how will you see yourself? Right now, you may see yourself as a person on the run to keep up with time. However, as you work through to pivot and work a plan that includes you as a leader and person, you can take on the things that sit in front of you, which seems impossible. It's time to get back to you. And I say that in caps, you. And friends, and once you are back to you, then you can be that mom, you can be that wife, you can be that friend, you can be that sister, you can be that leader, you can be that boss, and all the in between that falls into place. See how many hats we're wearing right now, and some of you are wearing way more hats than this. So do know you are definitely seen, you are definitely heard, and we're there. We there. This is the time, y'all. This is the time where we have to do what we have to do. Okay. If you see this last slide, this is my contact information. Again, I'm the owner of I Am Shatoria LLC. I'm also the owner of I Am Forgiveness to Freedom, which is an intel off my book. You see both of my books there, Authentic Transparency, Forgiveness to Freedom, which is on my website, along with my first collaboration book, which is the Women with Unshakable Faith. I am a woman of faith. I'm a woman of changes, and I'm all about we gotta change, we gotta rethink, we gotta refocus, we gotta readjust how we are for us to be strong, for us to be better than when that we have been. It's time for us to make some changes, not for everybody else, for ourselves. All right. These are the areas that you can reach me at: my website, my email, YouTube, IG, TikTok, and my podcast. If you have any questions, I am here to take them all. I'm an open book. Thank you, guys.
Fantastic speech, Shatoria. So,
Thank you.
yes, if you want to contact Shatoria, you can visit her website as well. That is iamshatoria.com, and email info@iamshatoria.com. So she has a YouTube channel and Instagram, TikTok, podcast. So yes, you can reach her in any channel. So yes, here is the question from our audience. So the question is, how can I maintain focus as a leader?
Easy.
Easy.
Do you first. As I said in one of my slides, make sure you are focusing on what needs to be focused on. Use the calendar style. If you go back to this slide where it says, write your heart out in a journal and focus on you. Write out your do's, your don'ts, your hobbies, and then start placing them in your calendar. So make sure you do those things. Then everything else will flow.
Mhm. Thank you so much, Shatoria, for the wonderful presentation, sharing your being an authentic and transparent leader. So it's really a wonderful session. Everyone enjoyed this session, and yes, there is a live event going in New York, USA. So if you want to join and you can give your comments, use the Zoom link over here, which is placed in the message tab, so that you can give your comments. Thank you and have a wonderful day. So this is Melinda Roy. I'm the host for the 2 days Global Summit 2023 in New York City, USA. And bye bye, Chaturia. Have a wonderful day.
Bye bye, you too.
Bye. So let's move on to the another speaker. Please join another speaker session, which is Patty Grover.